Sup nerds, I'm Aaron.
I'm Tom, and this is Ultimate Troll.
And you just got ultimately trolled. Because I'm not Aaron, that's Aaron.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Tom. It's like, that was the craziest joke. Ultimate Troll is a very light filler game that is extremely wacky. There's an awful lot of randomness. It's very similar to like Flux or Exploding Kittens or even Munchkin a little
exactly.
bit.
It's a little bit like Munchkin because it's just goofy and silly, but if you added in like the shell game thing from Netrunner where you're like, okay, did I put something valuable here or did I put it here? Like which pile of loot do you want to dig from? Like,
right.
And I could put traps in there.
Is it the single card, the most value card, or single card, the trap card? You know, because why would I put just one card out there? Or why would I put just one stack of cards out there? Because I remember doing that. I was like, wait a minute. Do I have to have 3 stacks? Can I just have one? You're like, no, you can just have one. So I made my stack and I put 3 trap cards in the top. And I was like, great. I get 3 whole rounds of Aaron getting no cards.
Yeah.
Until it came to my turn again. I was like, oh wait, I have to bury more cards. I can't. Like that may work for a time. So that's where I'm saying there's a lot of randomization. There's a lot of silliness involved, but not as much as Flux. Like we compared it to Flux originally, but I will say that this is definitely, if you're turned off by Flux, don't hear Flux and then run away. Like it's not as bad.
The randomness in this game can actually be controlled because trolled
Yeah.
by stacking the cards in a certain way. Like if you have a card that says if a runt card was already drawn prior to this card, it'll set off this extra ability. So you can actually, it's not super random if you stack the deck right.
Mm-hmm. So you're putting them in these piles, like you're burying a card, not just that they won't get to it, but you're burying it saying, I know this guy's going to push his luck to try and get this deep.
Yes.
And actually you kind of feel that once you start with, if you pick the tallest stack, you're like, I'm in it to win it, right? I got to go the whole way, right?
There's got to be something really good at the bottom. I got to push my way through. Like, there's definitely that greediness of being a troll, and you're like, ooh, I got to go for this, but oh wait, he trapped me, and now I have to discard my hand and redraw a card. So there's a lot of goofiness and a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it.
I definitely agree with you. I was actually kind of surprised with how much I like this. Well, even though, I definitely am an advocate that I believe every board gamer with their collection, they should have like a well-rounded collection. They should have big games and small games, filler games. I mean, even if you just love the really big games, right? You just always want to have an epic gaming night. I always still feel like you should have some smaller games. And if you're saying, well, everybody I know, all they play is Warhammer, well then be the board game renegade and be different. Have smaller games, So there is a spot for a game this size on your shelf, but not a lot. Because I will admit, I really like big games. So I'm very selective about the small games, because I feel like, well, I need to have some small games, but I have a limit, like 10. If I have 10, I'm fine. So I was really surprised that I felt like this is definitely a contender for that very small spot on my shelf of small games.
And this one actually scales really well for 2+ players, because with one deck you can play 2 or 4 players. With a second deck, you can add up to 6 players, and with a third deck, you can do 8 players. And I feel that it plays really well with all those different variants. I mean, we didn't play with 7 or 8, but I can imagine that it would just get even more wacky when you're like revealing the top card of every horde, and you're like, ooh, who do I want to go after now?
Yeah.
Like,
there's so much information overload. Yeah, it's like me in an Algebra 1 class.
I definitely like what they have going on here. Like, Damien has done some really good artwork. It's all really quality stuff. Like, it's very, cartoonish, and it's very crisp and clean, and you can see the silliness is carried through the artwork, through the rules, it's everywhere. Like in the rule book, it actually says, draw 2 cards from the deck. If you cannot, the game immediately ends, and it sucks to be you. It's just funny to see the silliness throughout the entire game. If you want to complain, you can call the troll administrator. His phone number is 3.
I didn't even see that. I would definitely like to see where this game can go. I would like to see, more decks made for this, because I do see a lot of potential here, and I kind of get the feeling that as more and more of these decks come out, it's kind of going to be like something that you're very comfortable with just smashing it all together. You're not going to be very selective about which one we're going to play, or which, it's not like expansions, but which expansion are we going to include right now. I feel like Wes did that with his core set of Munchkin, where he had all of the expansions to the original Munchkin, and he just had it all mixed up in one. I feel like this would be that kind of thing, where you just have you'll have the ultra big card box eventually, and you have them all sleeved, and you'll have it all together, and you'll just say, well, whatever, let's just grab this much cards and just play with that.
You could keep each episode separately, like they're, they come in these boxes and such, but like you said, it will be a game that you can smash all together and just, play with that deck of cards. Or you could kind of tailor it and be like, okay, let's just play with 3 decks from episode 5 because I like the new terminology that comes out way down the line. Like, I'm really hoping for new terminology because, like, what they have now is great, but every game kind of evolves as they come out with more and more episodes. And you're like, okay, now you got the basics, here's a new thing, here's something else.
It's kind of like a multiplayer LCG, where, like, you know, in an LCG where I'm collecting all the cards to build my deck, well, you can, you know, collect all of the different decks to build the game that we all play with.
Exactly.
Kind of thing. And obviously, in my example earlier where it said, like, you know, you smash everything together, there are rules of the amount of cards you need to have for... So, I mean, you can't do it exactly like that, but pretty close.
Pretty close.
Pretty.
Like your eyes. If you're looking for a new game to put on your shelf that's very light, very fun, very quick, and you like trolling people and, you know, stacking your cards to, like, mess with people and, you know, mess with their heads, like, this is the game for you.
No, I agree with Aaron. And also, you know, while I was saying, you know, I'm the kind of person who can't wait to see the other episodes and see how this game expands and grows. You know, if you're just looking for a small filler game that you can kind of take with you, because again, since it's just in this one little box, you get just one box and throw it in the glove compartment of your car or have it in your purse or your backpack or whatever. And then while you're, you know, at a restaurant or, you know, waiting in line at the bank, while you're at the airport,
on a train, on a plane,
while you're in the hospital, waiting to see if the baby's yours,
while you're riding a tandem bicycle, while you're on a roller coaster,
at the cemetery, at the bar, while you're waiting for your Tinder date,
who are you going to play it with? If you had waterproof sleeves, you could play it on a boat,
on the Death Star,
under a bridge,
on top of a bridge. Oh, trolls. If any of this looks interesting to you at all and you're watching this on YouTube, you can go ahead and click the link on Aaron's face. Just kidding. It's in the description box down below. You just got trolled. 2 trolls, 1 video. Double trolled. Haha. Hashtag burned. Hashtag trolled. Hashtag never board slams.
And if you're on Kickstarter, just click the link right there.
Or is that, I don't know, the orientation.
Hold on.
It's got to be.
Is right there?
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That way you'll never be bored. And hey, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. So that way you'll never
be trolled.
Oh!